Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Ryan. I'm here on staff at the Underground. I'm the creative director, and we're going to try something new with you. We're going to try this little video podcast deal that you're watching right now on our Facebook, and we're going to try it over the next few months just to communicate with you, let you know a little bit what's going on here at the Underground, a little bit what's going on with the people here on staff, some volunteers, and everything like that. Everything Underground right here in the podcast in a nice little package just for you. So stay tuned over the next couple minutes. We'll be telling you some stuff about Battle of the Bands, upcoming national shows, some books we're reading, some music we're listening to, and look forward to hearing from you right here on Facebook with the Underground Video Podcast. And we're running here. Okay, guys, so on Saturday, November 13th, we had the Hungry for Love tour. We had Sanctus Real, Leland, and the Afters right here. Huge night of music. If you weren't here, you missed out. Sorry. Catch them next time. But in the meantime, you can catch up with all the bands and what's going on. Leland has a new EP out called Majesty. You can check it out on iTunes. We'll provide the link right here on Facebook. Also, the Afters, who have their hit single right now, Light Up the Sky, have done two really cool things with it. One is a great music video that we have a link here for you to check out. Also, make sure you check out their website, theafters.com. They have a really cool feature on there that you can identify yourself on a map to say, God is moving in my life and doing something. And you can also see all the other places. So look right here, this image we're putting up for you. You can see dots where everybody is saying, hey, God is doing something in my life, some awesome stuff. And the last thing is Sanctus Real. You probably heard about this with Sanctus, but Matt Hammett, the lead singer, had a son not too long ago, Bowen, and Bowen had a heart defect. So there's been some awesome stuff going on, bowensheart.com, and all this stuff's happening. Also, ABC's Nightly News, and I believe it was Diane Sawyer, maybe it was one of those guys, did a story on him. You can check it out right here on our Facebook account and check it out. It was awesome, and it's great to hear God's faithfulness and all of that.
Hey everybody, welcome to the first edition of the UG Video Podcast. My name is Joe Plant. I am the club manager here at the Underground. I want to give you guys a little bit of information about our semifinals of Battle of the Bands. This year's battle has been enormous. I think we had 82 bands enter and compete in 35 bands enter this year's battle and compete for over $10,000 in cash and prizes, and we are down to the final 10 bands. So that means we have 2 nights of the semifinals starting this Saturday and then again next Saturday, December 11th. I want to give you guys a little bit of info about the bands that are performing this Saturday, December 4th. We have got Achilles Descent. They do some hardcore type stuff. They've got a lot of energy and a lot of fans, so come and check that out. We got a lot of diversity this year in our semifinal nights. We also have The Waking Point. They're kind of an indie rock, lots of ambient sounds and long intros, so they're a tight, good sounding band, so come check them out. We also have New Royal. There's 3 guys and they make a lot of beautiful noise, so if you like 3 pieces that sound good, check them out. We also have Wind Chaser. They're 4 guys, and they're alt-rock, lots of long intros as well. They're very polished, and they do a lot of layering, and it's kind of post-rock, alt-rock, so make sure you check them out. Then we also have 21st Streamline, which I have heard they're at least one better than 20th Streamline, which just did not work out. So if you've heard of 21st Streamline, they are beautiful. They're 6 guys. Beautiful music, I should say. Just want to clarify. 6 guys that play well together. So come check it out this Saturday. We're expecting probably 500 people. So every vote counts. And if you're just a local music supporter, you should come check it out too, because your vote could determine who moves on to the finals in January.
One of the cool things we want to do on this podcast is to help you know some great things that we're reading, and love to hear about what you're reading too. One of the things I'm reading is Francis Chan's Crazy Love. I had a chance to see him at a conference not too long ago in Atlanta, and the guy was astounding. He just has an insight and a simplicity to things that's unbelievable. Well, Crazy Love is no different. It is a book that really flipped my world upside down and really challenged me a lot in my faith to look at the way I live my life out for Christ in this world. So check it out, Crazy Love. They also have, I believe it's crazylovebook.com, and you can check out what this book is all about. All right, we're back, and we're going to talk a little bit about music we think maybe you'd like. Maybe you wouldn't, but heck, why not tell you a little bit about what we're listening to? So, Joe, what are you listening to these days over in your office, in your car, with your kids, running in the snow? What are you listening to?
Well, while I'm doing any of those activities, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word Irish, besides Ireland? Fionn Regan. Check it out. He's great. The End of History, I believe, is the name of his CD. He's kind of like a Bob Dylan, but with an Irish voice and I think a classical guitar. So quite a bit different, but it's really good. So you should check it out.
Somebody, speaking of a guitar, John Mark McMillan, The Medicine, came out in July. It's one of those albums that I think is a game changer for most people. When they listen to it, they're like, is this a worship album or is this just a sweet American rock album? Could it be both?
Yeah,
Maybe
maybe
it could
new
be both.
worship.
Who else?
Speaking of game changers, Gunger, we had them here last year, and it was one of the best shows I've seen. They had a cello, which automatically gives them bonus points if you have style points in concerts. And
They
I
have
really
a ton
like,
of people in their band.
They have a ton
too.
of people.
I mean,
and
how
it
many people were
sounded-
there here? Like 7, maybe?
I think
up
they
there?
had 6
7?
or 7 people. Yeah,
And
I
they,
lost count after 5.
And we saw them at a conference lately too.
Yeah, we were in Atlanta for Catalyst, and
they did some amazing stuff there. They're
brought
one of
it.
those bands that when you listen to their album, you're like, oh my gosh, these guys, unbelievable. Paper Routes, you've heard of those guys? Paper Route of Nashville. Absence is the name of the album. It's been out for a little bit, but one of those you listen to, it feels like you're listening to something that's like the future mixed with the 80s. It's like Depeche Mode meets 2012. I mean, that could be possible, but it's pretty darn good. I mean, it's one of those albums I'd highly recommend you to listen to as well. Anything else?
Yeah, if you like great band names, you should check out We Were Promised Jetpacks, because when I saw that name, I had to listen to it, and then I liked listening to it. So
Did they give you a jetpack at the end of the
no, I was promised a jetpack, and at the end of the song, I received no jetpack.
Disappointing.
It was disappointing. The end was disappointing, but in the middle, during the listening portion of that, it was great.
Did you feel like you were riding on a jetpack with your listening experience?
I think so. Theoretically, I've never ridden a jetpack, but I'd like to envision that it felt something like
Felt
that.
like that,
Yep,
okay.
Pretty close to it.
One of the last ones I recommend, Brooke Fraser, Flags. You may have heard of her. She's from New Zealand, down there. I don't know. What you don't say down under with
No, I think you just say,
that. Just in New Zealand.
I think not in America. That's what
That's
I
right.
say. For
People who have
basically-
an accent almost like Australia and where Lord of the Rings was shot.
I think so.
Would that work?
Yeah,
Okay.
that works.
Flags, great album. One of those ones, if you're looking for a great female vocalist. She and you know another great female vocalist, Florence and the Machine. They are phenomenal as well. Lungs is the name of her album. She's actually opening for a number of U2's shows coming up here in the summer of 2011. Well, we're checking out. The Dog Days Are Over. I believe it was on Glee even on Monday
I think
night.
Saturday Night Live a couple weeks ago.
Saturday Night Live a
Yeah.
couple weeks ago, so she is really hot right now. Last recommendations before we go.
If you like 10-minute songs, you should check out Sufjan Stevens. I hear he has a new one, and I think 4 or 5 songs are pretty much 10 minutes long if you round up, which I usually do. So if it's 7, I just round up to 10. So it's probably 3 hours of great listening, so you should check that out.
Sounds like an episode of Murder, She Wrote.
It sounds like, hopefully, 3 or 4 episodes of Murder, She Wrote.
Hopefully.
Just put together.
Well, that was our first episode. We hope you're enjoying it. We hope that you'll come back and check it out again. Again, we're just looking for a great way to talk to you, the fans of the underground. So, I'm Ryan,
I'm Joe.
and that was the UG Video Podcast. See you next time.